There is a quiet hunger in a man's heart that he almost never speaks about, not because it isn't there, but because he doesn't quite know how to name it. And when an older woman understands this unspoken longing, something shifts in the way he looks at her, listens to her, and stays with her. I am Dr. Elina, and today I want to invite you into a truth that most men feel deeply but rarely admit, even to themselves. This isn't about age in years. It's about emotional presence, feminine depth, and the calm power that comes from knowing yourself. Men don't secretly long for perfection, youth, or performance. They long for something far more grounding, something that feels like exhale after a long day of holding it all together. And when a woman embodies this energy, he feels seen without being examined, desired without being chased, and safe without being controlled. In this video, I'll guide you through 5 things every man silently longs for from an older woman. 5 emotional experiences that draw him closer without effort, deepen his attachment, and make him feel understood in a way he may have never felt before. I won't reveal them all at once, because each one builds into the next, and the final one changes everything about how he bonds. So let me ask you, have you ever noticed a man softening around you, opening up unexpectedly, or lingering just a little longer in your presence? Stay with me until the end, because once you understand what he's really longing for, you'll realize your feminine power was never something you had to chase. It was something you already carried. The first thing every man silently longs for from an older woman is emotional safety. And this is far more powerful than most women realize. Emotional safety is not about agreeing with everything he says or shrinking yourself to keep the peace. It is about creating a space where he doesn't feel judged, corrected, or tested every time he opens his mouth. A man spends much of his life feeling evaluated, at work, in relationships, even in casual conversations. And when he is with a woman who allows him to express himself without interruption or emotional punishment, his entire nervous system begins to relax. I am Dr. Elina, and I have seen this pattern repeatedly in my work with men who appear confident on the outside, yet feel emotionally guarded within. One man once told me that the woman he felt closest to wasn't the most beautiful or the most exciting, but the one who let him finish his thoughts without making him feel wrong. That kind of presence is rare, and it is deeply attractive. An older woman understands that listening is not passive. It is active, intentional, and powerful. Her eye contact is steady, her body language open, her responses thoughtful rather than reactive. She doesn't rush to fix his problems or turn his vulnerability into a lesson. Instead, she allows his emotions to exist without pressure. In that space, something subtle yet profound happens. He begins to associate her presence with relief, calm, and emotional warmth. And when a man feels emotionally safe, he doesn't withdraw or lose interest. He leans in. He becomes more affectionate, more open, and more emotionally available because safety invites trust, and trust invites connection. This is why emotional safety is the foundation of deep attraction, not excitement or drama. Once a man feels emotionally safe with a woman, he begins to crave something even deeper from her, something that awakens admiration rather than comfort alone. And that brings us to the next powerful longing he rarely admits, but always feels. The second thing every man quietly longs for from an older woman is calm confidence, the kind that doesn't announce itself or demand attention, but instead fills the room through presence alone. Calm confidence is not about being loud, dominant, or constantly proving your worth. It is the subtle assurance that comes from a woman who knows who she is and no longer feels the need to explain herself. I am Dr. Elina, and I've observed that when a woman carries this energy, men respond instinctively. They slow down, they listen more closely, and they begin to seek her approval without fully realizing why. A man is deeply affected by a woman who speaks without rushing, who pauses comfortably in silence, and who allows moments to breathe instead of filling them with nervous energy. This steadiness signals emotional strength, and emotional strength feels safe, desirable, and grounding to a man. Think about the way a man leans in when a woman speaks softly but clearly, or how his attention sharpens when she doesn't chase his reactions. This is attraction responding to inner stability. Calm confidence tells him, "I don't need you to validate me, but I enjoy your presence," and that message is magnetic. Let me ask you this. Have you ever noticed how a man becomes more attentive when you stop over, explaining, and simply let your words land? That shift is not accidental. An older woman understands that her value is not created by effort, but revealed through stillness, tone, and self-trust. She allows herself to be seen without performing, and that quiet certainty invites a man to step toward her emotionally. He begins to mirror her calm, to regulate himself through her energy, and to feel drawn to her as a place of balance rather than chaos. Once a man feels the grounding pull of a woman's calm confidence, something awakens inside him that goes beyond attraction, something that stirs admiration and desire at the same time, and that leads directly into the next longing he rarely understands, but deeply feels. The third thing every man deeply longs for from an older woman is to feel genuinely desired, not for what he provides or how he performs, but for who he is beneath the surface. There is a profound difference between being wanted and being desired, and men feel that difference in their bodies long before they can explain it with words. I am Dr. Elina, and I've witnessed how a man changes when a woman's attention feels intentional rather than conditional. An older woman understands how to see a man fully, his effort, his sensitivity, his quiet strength, and reflect that back to him without turning it into expectation or pressure. Her desire isn't rushed or demanding, it's focused, warm, and deeply personal. When she looks at him, he feels chosen, not evaluated. When she acknowledges him, it feels like recognition rather than reward. This kind of desire creates emotional closeness because it allows a man to relax into being himself, instead of constantly proving his worth. He begins to open up more naturally, to share thoughts he usually keeps guarded, and to linger longer in moments of connection because they feel nourishing rather than draining. Emotional storytelling often reveals that men remember the women who made them feel seen far longer than the ones who simply excited them, because desire that is rooted in presence leaves a lasting imprint. An older woman expresses desire through tone, timing, and attention. Through the way she listens closely, responds thoughtfully, and allows moments of connection to deepen without rushing them forward. This subtle expression of desire awakens something powerful inside a man, a sense of being valued for his essence, not his usefulness. And as that feeling settles in, his attachment grows quieter but stronger, shifting from surface attraction to something more intimate. Something that begins to reshape how he experiences closeness and how deeply he allows himself to bond. The fourth thing every man longs for from an older woman is emotional maturity. The kind that brings steadiness instead of chaos and clarity instead of confusion. Emotional maturity is felt in how she responds rather than reacts, in how she communicates without escalating tension, and in how she allows feelings to exist without turning them into weapons. I am Dr. Elina, and I've seen how profoundly men are affected by a woman who can hold emotion without letting it spill into drama. Picture a quiet room with warm lighting, two people sitting across from each other, voices low and unhurried, where disagreement doesn't feel threatening and silence doesn't feel heavy. In that space, a man feels free to express himself without bracing for punishment or withdrawal. An older woman understands that emotional regulation is not suppression, it is self-respect. She doesn't shut down when emotions rise, nor does she chase reassurance through conflict. Instead, she stays present, grounded in her body, and clear in her words. This creates a powerful contrast to the emotional unpredictability many men have experienced in past relationships. When a man encounters emotional maturity, his nervous system relaxes, his defensiveness softens, and his trust deepens. He begins to feel that he can be honest without consequences, vulnerable without losing dignity. Visual cues of this maturity are subtle yet powerful. The calm tone of her voice, the relaxed set of her shoulders, the way she maintains eye contact without intensity or avoidance. These details communicate stability on a level that words alone cannot. Emotional maturity also allows connection to deepen over time, because it creates consistency, and consistency builds safety. As a man adjusts to this emotional environment, he finds himself wanting to stay longer, to invest more, and to protect what feels peaceful and real. What begins as attraction slowly transforms into attachment, not through force or pressure, but through the quiet reliability of emotional presence that makes him feel anchored rather than overwhelmed. The fifth thing every man secretly longs for from an older woman is feminine leadership, a presence that guides without controlling. That sets the tone with grace rather than force, and that allows him to step fully into his own masculine energy without pressure or judgment. I am Dr. Elina, and what most women don't realize is that leadership in a relationship doesn't mean taking over. It means holding space with intention, confidence, and emotional clarity. An older woman who embodies feminine leadership understands how to influence the rhythm of connection, how to create emotional flow, and how to inspire a man to show up without needing to demand it. Think of a simple dinner conversation. She chooses the tone, the pace, the focus, and the way feelings are expressed, not by controlling words, but by her steady presence. In that environment, a man feels drawn in naturally. He feels safe to express himself, to open up, and even to reveal sides of himself he normally keeps guarded. Feminine leadership creates a subtle tension that is incredibly magnetic. He doesn't feel manipulated, yet he wants to follow, to participate, to invest in the connection she cultivates. It's the difference between a woman who waits for him to take charge and a woman who quietly inspires him to rise without instruction. Have you ever noticed how a man becomes more attentive, protective, and affectionate when a woman seems unshakable in her presence yet warm in her response? That is the power of feminine leadership at work. It turns attraction into admiration, desire into loyalty, and interest into deeper emotional investment. When combined with emotional safety, calm confidence, genuine desire, and maturity, this final element completes the framework that men crave but rarely articulate. And the subtle secret is that feminine leadership is not about doing more. It's about being more, being steady, centered, and intentionally radiant in a way that naturally draws him closer, makes him feel alive in your presence, and inspires him to meet you on the same level of emotional depth and connection. Now that we've explored the 5 things every man silently longs for from an older woman, take a moment to let them sink in. Emotional safety, calm confidence, being deeply desired, emotional maturity, and feminine leadership. These are not just ideas. They are experiences that transform how he connects with you, how he trusts you, and how he stays captivated by your presence. I am Dr. Elina. And what I want you to remember is this: your power doesn't come from changing who you are. It comes from remembering the depth, the grace, and the magnetic energy you already carry. When you allow yourself to embody these qualities, men don't just notice you, they respond to you on a level they can rarely put into words. They relax, they lean in, they open up, and they begin to bond in ways that feel effortless and profound. Take a moment to reflect. How can you bring more calm confidence into your words today? Where can you create space for emotional safety? How can your presence quietly guide the energy around you? These questions are the doorway to deeper connection, intimacy, and authentic attraction. If this video resonated with you, I invite you to like it, share it with a woman who needs this reminder, and comment below which points spoke to your heart the most. Don't forget to watch the next video, because we're diving even deeper into understanding the unspoken desires that make men emotionally available and truly captivated. Stay radiant, stay grounded, and remember, your feminine power is always magnetic when you own it fully.